Hello and welcome. My name is Evan Danis, Corporate Marketing Manager for Lucas Systems. Thanks for joining us on our Smarter by the Shift panel discussion today, where our Lucas experts, Ben, Bill, and Tyler, are going to talk a little bit about intelligent systems in the warehouse and how they can optimize and learn and help you perform your operations better. So the first question I wanted to start out with was, when you talk about intelligent systems in the warehouse, what does that mean specifically in day-to-day operations to you?
So for the day-to-day warehouse, what it means is implementing systems that give you more intelligence around visibility, more real-time predictability as to what is happening in the warehouse. So traditionally, warehouse management systems and other types of systems, maybe some warehouse control systems, give you some automated type of, workflows in the warehouse. Implementing more intelligent systems now using AI, machine learning, will give us a greater level of, predictability as to when things are going to happen, right? And also implementing these types of systems will give us a scalability for the future. So as your business grows, as your warehouse expands, as you bring in new products, as you may have seasonal items that are need to be processed, that you have a system in place that will allow you to very easily adapt to those ever-changing business needs.
So a lot of it has to do with data visibility and sort of some real-time sort of information to kind of help you get better.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely a huge component of it. The data is the core to determine that, but you need to have those algorithms, those predictive models, those types of things in place if you truly want to have a more intelligent type warehouse. I think also too, automation plays a lot in that. The workers themselves play a lot in that, and in providing them with tools or introducing automation that will better allow a warehouse to flow and to become more efficient, and be able to do things maybe that a traditional warehouse isn't able to do.
Great. Tyler, what would you add to that?
Yeah, I mean, just on top of some of those smarter things, right? Some of the things that you're able to do with some of this data, batch better, right? When you batch better, you're going to travel a little bit less, make it easier on the warehouse worker. Also, as far as some of the data that comes out of some of these intelligent systems, right? You can make decisions on your labor. You can display some of these metrics in real time, kind of leading towards a gamification type of environment, friendly competition, which all just kind of drives further that intelligent system and kind of a smarter warehouse.
Sure. Now, moving on sort of a next question, I wanted to ask you, Ben, specifically, for companies that are just starting this journey, maybe to talk about intelligent systems, what's the first step, do you think, to building a smarter warehouse?
It's really hard to pinpoint it to one step. There's a handful of things to do. One is really identify where your bottlenecks are. Are people loitering at a printer too long? Is it they have to set something down in order to pick up picks and vice versa? Hands are too full. Setting up a virtual warehouse so you can evaluate how the flow of everything is going, and standardizing your system across the board, not just within a single warehouse, but across all warehouses, so that if you do choose to add a work execution system or other intelligent system, it's a much more streamlined operation. They can all function with the same data set and not all be custom to one another.
Bill, what would you add to that?
Yeah, to add on to what Ben said, I agree that looking at your existing processes and trying to find the pain points, trying to find the areas and the opportunities where you can make changes, you can implement intelligent systems to make a real impact in terms of whether it's visibility or better tasking, better batching, some of the things that we do. But I also think too, it's important that when you're starting on that journey for organizations, customers, to really think about what's their goal? What are they trying to accomplish? Are you trying to reduce labor costs? Are you trying to improve your turnaround on order delivery times? There's a number of factors, KPIs that can be measured upon, and it's really important to understand as an organization, where do you want to see the most gains or improvements, and then finding the right tools that will get you to where you want to be.
And making sure everyone's aligned strategically in the organization. I think that's great advice. Finally, I wanted to kind of come over to something that's fairly controversial, I think, in the industry is when you talk about intelligent systems and people. How do we make sure that these technologies, these automations, complement the workers in the warehouse and don't replace them, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, that's always something that you hear out and about and in different warehouses is, more robotics are coming, is that going to take my job, right? I think with intelligent systems, it's not about replacing the worker, it's about kind of assisting them and making their lives a little bit easier, right? So we talk about batching and maybe smarter travel paths. Why walk 5 miles in a day when you could maybe walk one, lift less weight, you're less tired when you go home, you have more energy for the rest of the week, next day. So all these systems and these intelligent systems use all that data that we had talked about and gives you these smarter pick paths and smarter kind of just day-to-day tasks that you can execute. And not only is it going to help them day to day, but it's also going to help retention. It's going to help management find and attract and hire more people as new technologies come on, and not doing it more in a rudimentary type of way.
Ben, what would you tell some workers on the warehouse floor that were sort of apprehensive about technology or automation coming into their warehouse?
Intelligent systems aren't about replacing people. It's about making their lives easy. As was mentioned, better batching and shorter pathing, just, less wear and tear on the individual at that point, which helps them. But even if you look into robotics, most of the robotics out there aren't replacing people. They're bringing the pallets to people so that the people can still do the work without having to walk around as much. So all the systems are just meant to make lives easier, eliminate redundant tasks, give managers visibility so they can make split-second decisions and keep those stress levels down. Everything's just another tool to help get that end goal achieved faster.
Bill, I'll now ask you this final question. What do you say to the person who says, well, this is the way we've always done it, why should we change?
Yeah, I've heard many times in a warehouse, it's like, I do it. I've been doing this way for 20 years. Why should I change now? And that resistance to change is real, right? So I think, though, that what we need to tell the workers is, we're implementing these systems, we're implementing these technologies because it provides the company overall with a greater sense of visibility. It should allow them to improve their work environments, to enable them to be able to do things that they maybe couldn't do before.
Well, thanks, guys, for some great insight onto some of these intelligent systems. And I invite you to join us further as we explore some more of these intelligent systems and some more in-depth discussions that will be coming up soon.